Here today in the Florida Villages. I rented another bike. Yesterday I rented a bike. Today I rented a bike. This one here is a batch bike, and I got something to say about this bike, and it's probably not all positive. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to do a review on it. It's going to be a quick review. Trying to get this bike back to the rental place. All right. I hate to rush through this review, but I'm going to try to get this bike back. Chain kept coming off on me, and there's something wrong with the cassette on this thing. It is a cassette, not a flywheel. And so it started out, I got a good 10 miles on the bike and didn't have a problem at all. And then the chain started coming off in 7th gear. The chain was getting loose because as the hub would turn, the whole cassette was turning at the same time, so the chain would loosen up and fall off. So then I found out if I left it in 6th gear, it wouldn't fall off. Well, then it started falling off in 6th gear. Then it started falling off in 5th gear and in 4th gear. And I pretty much drove it home on the hub motor, so with the throttle, the thumb throttle. But I'm going to try to get it back. Maybe I can get another bike. The bike, it's a good bike. I mean, I enjoyed riding it somewhat. I would never myself buy this bike. It's not something that I would want. It's got too skinny tires on it for me, but it does, with the skinny tires on it, it goes right along, you know, especially with the 26-inch wheels on it. The brakes on it are mechanical pull brakes. Yeah, they work. They've obviously been bedded because they're not squealing too much. They do make a little bit of noise. The fenders on the thing, which they feel aluminum. There was a little chatter coming from those, but nothing critical. The seat was relatively comfortable. It does have a suspension seat post on it. That's about all the suspension on this bike, though. The front fork is a fixed fork. All in all, the bike was pretty good. It's got a Bafang motor on it, Bafang controller. It's a 350 motor. This is a true Class 2 bike. I'm not even sure if it could be upgraded to a Class 3. Probably not, because 350 motor. But you know, this bike was brand new when I got it. They didn't even know they had it to rent, so I don't blame them. I don't blame the bike. It's just a component that's bad on the bike. So don't. I'm not holding against the bike. I'm not holding against the people that rented it to me. They had no idea. I'm sure they're going to be horrified that it happened. This thing ghost pedals at 13 miles an hour. It's horrible. They need to put a bigger crank on it. I mean, I guess, you know, this thing is meant to be a slower driven bike, so maybe that's why people are going to be in the low end. Just that ain't me. The bike's a decent looking bike. I'm not a big fan of all the black, but I know a lot of people are. Not a big fan of the whole matte look, but whatever. Not a horrible bike. I mean, it's decent bike. So the one thing on this thing, so it has your typical tourney derailleur on the back. This does have a cassette on it and not a freewheel. That is an upgrade. You know, nowadays all the Chinese bikes have freewheels on them. But anyways, the only real difference on a cassette is you can change the gears individually, and who cares? The whole freewheel costs like $19, but it's got a Bafang motor on it. It's a quiet motor, no complaint there. The thing comes with a rack. It's got a little suspension hold down. I mean, I remember being a kid, they had those. Don't understand what these are for, but it's got to be for something. There's a bottle boss here. This thing is horrible to ride without a mirror, and I'm sure it's, you know, they include mirrors, I'm sure, with their bikes. Like I said, I kind of pushed him on this bike to rent it, so it wasn't even like rentable. So don't hold it against him. So I got to check to see if this thing has a brake light. So turn it on from the back. Like I said, it says Bafang on it. So I'm gonna hit the brakes, and no brake lights. So yeah, not an exciting bike. Relatively comfortable to ride. The battery did real good for what I did. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this bike. It hasn't been an enjoyable ride, but again, it's not the bike's fault. But I did look this bike up. This bike is selling for around 18. I don't know. You know, I don't want to say anything bad against bikes, but 18 for this bike? Seriously? This thing's like a $900 bike. What is on this bike that's worth... Okay, the Bafang motor's worth something because it says Bafang on it, and it is a quality hub motor. I heard the battery has LG cells in it, so they got a battery with decent cells in it. But there's nothing on this bike to make it worth that other than the quality two pieces that they have on it. So they have a Bafang motor, which is great, and they have non-hydraulic brakes on it. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I'm not impressed. Sorry. I don't like to say anything bad. If this thing was a $900 bike, I'd say, you know what? Pretty damn good. $1,800 bike? Hell no. So, I'm off again. Chain just came off again. Bad part is, like I said, every time it falls off, my hand gets greasier and greasier. So it definitely, something wrong with it's a Bafang, so it probably has a cassette on it. Problem, and there goes the chain. I can feel that vibration going through the bike here. Seems to cure once you get going though. So here we're doing a bike review, and all I'm doing is having problems with the bike and complaining about it. So not looking too good for batch bikes here, but oh, I did it again. That's my fault. I'm shifting in the 7th gear. So 7th gear ejection. Jeez, I didn't even think I shifted up into anything. I'm not. It fell off in 6th gear. And there it goes. So now we can't even use 6th gear apparently. So I guess I'll tell you right now, I'm looking back, I'm in 4th gear and the chain is limp. So this thing is getting worse by the minute. So I'm gonna get this thing back. And I might as well return it. Fine, I just want to get back. Like I said, the longer we go here, it seems like this cassette is self-destructing. It's probably nothing I've had them freeze up from rust. And you put oil on them and free them up, but this thing's well oiled. Trust me, my hands got covered with oil now. And I can feel this, I don't know, a vibration through the seat that's not normal. It's definitely coming from that area. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the ratcheting mechanism is on this. I've taken freewheels off, I've taken cassettes off, but you don't see the internals in them. But this thing may need a new cassette, which is not a big deal. It's a freaking their cost. I can feel this vibration. I have a feeling that fourth gear is going to self-destruct pretty soon. A quick review on this bike. I'm not blaming Batch for this problem. This is just a, it's a brand new bike. Hasn't been tested out yet, and it's not the rental place's fault, and it's not Batch. It's just it's a bad component. So that's the way I came in the last time. But like I said, I'm just trying to get back at this point. So how you doing? I rented this bike today, and I can tell you, it hasn't been a good experience. It's not the rental place's fault. It's not the bike's fault. I kind of pushed them on it. It really wasn't ready for rental, and they rented it to me anyways. I was the first one to ever drive the bike, and it had 0 miles on it, and it has a problem with the cassette. It's continuing to spin as the hub goes around, so the chain's coming off of it. I got about 10 miles on the bike, and that was it. I lost, so 7th gear, chain's coming off. So I pedaled around in 6th gear, all of a sudden 6th gear, chain's coming off. Happened again in 5th gear, 4th gear. I ended up driving the bike home on the hub motor. I don't know, I was just worried that the chain might lock up and lock the rear tire up, but